up for later on. So we are recording this thing live, and the first thing that I want to do is say welcome, to you guys, and make sure I kind of set this thing up best for success. For those who don't know me, my name is James Johnson. I'm the CEO of Veteran Scientific Laboratories. This is not a pitch to get you to test with us. I also teach Hemp 101 seminars across the country. I co-own a CBD brand. I'm 5% owner of a medical marijuana grow in Oklahoma. And most recently, me and my business partners, as of August last year, started Veteran Scientific Laboratories. So I retired from the Air Force in 2016 after 21 years on active duty. And the plant started speaking to me in 2016, to make a long story short. And, I was battling PTSD myself, along with some other things. And I had some good people bring some good messages my way. And fast forward time now, 2022, 6 years later, here we are. And I've had the good fortune of coming across a lot of people in this space, a lot of good people. I've come across some absolute shitheads also. I'm just going to be perfectly, honest with you. But I've had the good fortune of coming in contact with some really good people who are doing really great things. And I focus on the good people that are doing great things. And I also focus on the new people in this space, those that are trying to figure things out, that are trying to get started the right way, so that they are not so frustrated along this journey as they're dealing with all of these charlatans, along the way. And I'm always tickled pink when I have the opportunity to connect, with other veterans, period, because, we don't get to see each other much being around these days, but to find some other veterans that are in cannabis, that are doing things the right way, truly trying to help and spread a message of positivity and helping, people to ultimately feel better. That's like the bee's needs for me. So I had the good fortune not too long ago of meeting the owners of Freedom Extracts, my buddy Stephen Burlingame, we call him B Game, and Liz Roca is there with him as well. They are out here via Zoom, and they are going to let you guys know some of the problems that they had over the past couple of years getting set up, with a merchant processor, because a lot of people aren't even aware that the banks aren't necessarily the problem right now. It's the merchant processor that can be an issue. They'll set you up initially, everything is 75, sunny and going well, and then they realize, oh, damn, you're cannabis? Oh, we got to shut you down. And they don't even understand the difference between hemp and marijuana, and they're around here shutting people down and messing with people's livelihoods. So, Steve and Liz, B Game and Liz, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great, brother.
Man, you look beautiful as ever. That's what I'm talking about. That's a shaving waiver from hell. I love it.
I'll tell you, man, if I could do the ball-headed thing, I'd do it, bro. You pull it off, man.
You can do it, man. Come on with me. I mean, it might be a little, you might have a little tan line at first, but it'll come right on in, bro.
Yeah, Marine Corps done put lumps and all kinds of dents in his head, man.
Oh, they call that seasoning.
Well, I got a lot of seasoning, bro.
Well, man, first of all, thank you guys so much for, coming out here, being vulnerable, being willing to share, some of your message and what's kind of occurred to you, in this space. And man, I'd say let's start off with, tell us a little bit about each of you guys about your military background, so we know a little bit of, who you are and what you do, your military background, and, how the plant came along in your life.
Well, I was in the Army, and and when we met, we had similar issues, and I had already been using CBD that my brother had sent me because I was going through my own PTS, and it worked. And I was very hesitant at first, and then I was like everybody is now, like, oh, am I going to get really high and nervous? Yep. And I didn't. It worked. And then when we met, and he was explaining some of the same issues, and I was like, try this. And, same thing. He had his hesitations, but then, it just worked. And so then we started this, but then your story is.
Yeah, Marine Corps, I was an infantry squad leader. Multiple deployments. You rock, yet, for all my devils out there. But yeah, unfortunately, my military career got cut short in about 2004. Got a little banged up by a roadside bomb in Fallujah. 2005, got out. And luckily, you know, I reintegrated back into, you know, civilian population, and became a commercial diver. I was dove all over the world, working in the oil industry, and so I had a job that wouldn't allow me to go outside of the realm of, you know, natural medicine, or, you know, VA poison is what they were
Right.
giving us.
Yep.
And I have my own beliefs. I'm pretty sure people that are watching, or that are been involved or had past experience with the VA have their beliefs as well. But I wanted to live an active lifestyle, and the medication that I was on would not let me live that lifestyle.
Yep.
And like, you know, she said earlier, you know, when we met, I 100% thought CBD was snake oil, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I wasn't going to risk losing a, you know, a high 6-figure paying job on snake oil.
Yep.
And I ended up getting some time off, and I was working for a company that might have not have really cared about drug testing too much. and she actually finally convinced me, and she was like, look, just try this. You know, you're having trouble sleeping, you chronic pain, you know, try this. This is going to help you. And I was, all right, you know, I'll give it a shot. What do I got to lose at this point? And JJ, I got to tell you, honestly, I mean, it was instant. It was within 10 minutes. I was like, okay, maybe we're onto something here. Okay, maybe this is something I can get along with. And yeah, that right there, man, that began the journey. And yeah, and it's where it's gotten us, you know, today. And you know, what we're doing is just like everybody else. You know, we all start out, and it's a battle, man. It's an uphill battle. You know, you're fighting not only regulations, you know, all the money that we're dumping into this just to get the business started. You know, we dropped out 401ks. This was not done by angel investors or, you know, private investors. This was all on us, you know, and we decided early on that if we're going to do this, you know, we're going to put everything on the table, and you know, we can't lose. We have to win.
Absolutely.
And you know, coming from that military background, you know, it's mission accomplishment, and that's all we know is to keep pushing.
Yep.
And so yeah, and it's just been, and just like a lot of people that might be watching right now, you know, it's roadblock after roadblock, but you know, you just got to push through. You got to keep pushing.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I want to stress, you know, we might have a small, you know, turnout right now, but this thing is being recorded. It's going to be replayed, and who knows who's going to get this message. So as this thing unfolds, you know, I just ask that you put your heart and soul into this, you know, like you guys do everything else. I mean, you know, we're cut from the same freaking cloth. You know, we just do what we need to do. We don't necessarily give a shit about whose feelings are going to get hurt, who's going to be happy or whatever. It's all about, you know, mission completion, making sure that people know what they need to know, and we'll sort the rest of our problems out with God later, you know. But right now we got a mission, you know, to accomplish. And, you know, with that being said, you know, I mean, now I know you guys initially were having some bank issues because, you know, after we met, I found out what was going on. And I put you guys in touch with my good buddy, Andrew Escamilla with Herring Bank, and he got you guys linked up, you know, with a bank account. For those that don't know, Herring Bank is a bank that, you know, they deal with marijuana as well as hemp. So if you're in a state that has a marijuana program, they can issue you a marijuana account. But if you're in a state that has hemp, they can issue you hemp-based accounts as well. So you're good to go. And from there, how did things kind of transpire, you know, from the merchant processors aspect?
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, getting the bank, I mean, that was an uphill battle. And that day that I met you at that Veterans Golf of Benefit, man, that got the ball rolling, man. I mean, just the networking alone. And then obviously you getting us with Herring.
We were literally on our fifth bank at that point, and
Wow.
we couldn't, yeah. And then it at some point it wasn't even a business bank account because we just could not keep a business bank account open. So we ended up operating off of a personal checking account, and we couldn't tell them it was CBD. And then, you know, because we didn't have the merchant processing on the website, it was just like Venmo, PayPal, transfers, and all that. And then, you know, after a while, that starts getting looked into, and they start questioning why are you getting all these payments, and then our PayPal was seized also. So it's just been one thing after the other. But
that pisses me off so bad because I got my own personal story with us starting the lab here. You know, we are a cannabis testing laboratory. We have equipment. We don't have weed. We own freaking equipment.
Yeah,
And
just-
man, Wells Fargo turned us down. Chase turned us down. Freaking Air Force Federal Credit Union turned us down, you know, and it's like you dumbasses don't even you know, it's like what in the why, you know,
Yeah.
what the hell, you know? And you know, finally, you know, I linked up with Andrew, you know, and with Herring, and everything's been great. It's been 75 and sunny, you know, ever since. So I get that struggle personally, you know, and you know, we don't necessarily have the merchant processor issue, you know, with what we're doing and what we're using right now. But you know, merchant processor, go for it. What happened?
So, you know, I'm not shy, brother. You know me since day one, bro. And, you know, I call it how I see it. And if I got to run you over on the bus, I'm running you over. We got involved with QuickBooks, and that's where the nightmare began.
Yep.
But that was the crazy part, was that was like the first month that we were in business. We just started the online, we just were getting our products in. They weren't even our own brand yet because we weren't sure like how is this really going to work out.
Right.
And so Shopify shut us down right off the bat. Like the first week they were like, we don't do CBD.
And by the way, you ain't throwing nobody under the bus. These are facts.
Yeah.
These
Yeah,
are
no,
facts
I know.
account for what the hell happened.
They're open
So
about it.
fuck them.
And
Sorry, my bad.
they're open about it, and they say openly, we don't support CBD business. You can use the platform, but you need to get a third party processor.
We don't have a problem with you people.
Yeah. So then I was using QuickBooks to keep track, and so I saw they have merchant account. I said, let me set that up. Literally set it up same day, got it on the website. I'm like, this was easy. And you hear all these people saying they have problems, and I'm telling them like that was a breeze. Like I got it set up. I'm thinking there's no issues here. And sure enough, next morning, QuickBooks calls me and says, we're shutting this down. We don't support CBD. So I'm thinking, no problem. Not one transaction was processed on either Shopify or QuickBooks because we were new. We were a month. Like nobody knew we even existed yet. So we weren't processing anything. And we get shut down. That's when all the banks started shutting us down and everything. And then,
Man.
Yeah, it all happened that once. Yeah. And then, forever we were trying to get another merchant processor, and then first it was the problem of, well, you don't have a business bank account and you need that. So now it was the struggle, let's get that account. And then we finally get to the point where we didn't have it for a while, and then that's when we found out that QuickBooks put us on the match list. And I didn't even know what the match list was. I was like, what the hell is that? And did some research, and I mean, we couldn't believe it. And every processor we talked to after that was like, unless you get an attorney, this is going to follow you. It's like, if you sell coffee cups on the corner, you're going to need an attorney to get off of that the match list. And I was like, this is ridiculous. We did nothing. And so, so that whole problem started.
We couldn't get answers. They wouldn't answer phone calls. I mean, this went on for.
Oh yeah. QuickBooks, they were just, they wouldn't even, at some point I was like, why did I get put on the match list? We can't tell you. I'm like, you can't tell me why you put me on the match list. Like that don't even make sense. They wouldn't transfer me to a manager. It was just, I can't tell you how many countless hours on the phone, on hold, arguing with reps, until we had to get an attorney who called QuickBooks and handled it. One of his Marine brothers.
Got a Marine that told him what was going on. He just
hey man, if it's cool, throw him a business plug. Like, what's his name? What's his law firm? Like, throw him a shout out if you can. If not, it's cool.
Joe Carrington, look him up. He's down in Houston. That dude right there is a savage, bro.
You say Joe Carrington?
Yeah, Joe Carrington. Yeah,
okay.
One of my Marine. He was actually one of my machine gunners in
nice,
Iraq.
Man.
But he this was pretty epic. So we get on the phone with them with QuickBooks, and obviously we've got our lawyer Joe on the phone with us. He starts the conversation. They try to shut him down, and they tell him, look, we can't talk to you without your clients. And I'm like, hey, we're right here.
It's funny you mentioned that. They're right here.
And bro, he threw everything at him. He goes, well, we've looked over everything. Nothing that you have, they're not violating any of your procedures and none of your protocols. He goes, the only thing we can think of is some kind of discriminatory practice. Either it's, because they're veterans, woman owned, veteran owned, you name it. The tone changed instantly. I mean, instantly. And then what was it within?
I'd say from the time of that phone call, I'd say within 3 weeks, I got an email that confirmed we were off the match list.
Wow.
And I was shocked.
Yeah.
Like they told me, they said, okay, you're off. I said, no, I need to see it in writing.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Yeah.
And so, we went back, and obviously we're celebrating our victory, but then we started thinking, like, all these other small business, all these other small CBD companies that ran into that roadblock and then, possibly got put on that match list or got shut down by QuickBooks, how many of those just folded up, and just abandoned their dream, because of something it's business murder when you get put on that match list, unless you can afford a lawyer or whatnot. And fortunate for us, Joe was able to kind of hook a brother up, but yeah, I mean, how many people have bowed out of the game, man, just over, these roadblocks. And, that's kind of what we're here is the push is like, this industry has been a good industry. There's a lot of dirt bags in here, but I would say the majority are really good people that want to see you succeed. We're all starting in this game pretty much all together, man. I mean, we're like the original pioneers out here in Texas, man, just blazing it through,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of that responsibility is going to fall on us to keep this going, keep pushing this, helping our smaller companies, our CBD, brothers and sisters that are getting up in the industry, getting them in with the right people.
Want to do it though, not people that just want to come in and make some quick money and get out and put out crappy products, and it just gives the whole industry a bad name, which is why we decided to do our own brand. I want to say maybe not even a year in, we decided, let's try to develop our own brand, because some of the brands that we were using and promoting and selling, people would come back with some complaints, and and then it was like, why are we pushing somebody's product? At the end of the day, we really don't know what's in this. And so that's when we decided, hey, let's take a crack at doing our own brand, and we did.
And that's where the labs, honest labs.
Lab like Veteran Scientific Laboratories.
Honest labs coming,
what I'm saying? I mean, come, do some testing with us, Freedom Extract. Holler at your boy, hook a brother up.
Absolutely, man.
And part of the problem, I think for me, the biggest thing that stands out about this, every single challenge that we come across, is that if you think about this is not just us throwing some product together and saying, hey, we're going to sell something. No, first of all, we have to get a license. In the state of Texas, you have to be licensed to be a CBD business. So we are licensed with the state. We have to have an approved facility. We have to do testing. We have to pay for all these extra things. And then when the regulation changes in 2 months, okay, now we got to dump some more compliant. And so we're putting all this money into being licensed, doing the testing, and then we can't get a bank account to sell the product that you're making us get a license to produce. And it's like, there's a huge disconnect here. And it's really unfair for the smaller business owners, because if this is your only business, there is no workaround. You have these big corporations and these big, huge CBD stores that who knows how they're doing their processing, but we don't have that luxury. And so we really are doing things by the book, and it's almost like we're getting screwed because we're doing it that way.
Now, and a lot of it too, and I'm finding out, I'm a 21-year military guy. I don't know anything about corporate America. Being a first-time entrepreneur and an entrepreneur in the cannabis space, it's a lot of things that we're finding out, as we go along the way. And one of the things that I would like to pass on to anyone who's looking to get a business account for, cannabis, make sure you have an operating agreement. Because if you don't have an operating agreement, you're going to spend some money on an attorney of some sort to have you an operating agreement drafted and signed. Because if you don't have, if you're a sole entity, cool. But if you have partners, all your partners have to sign off on this operating agreement, because that's one of the things that the banks want to see before they will give you a business account. They want to see an operating agreement. They want to know you're in good standing with the state as well, and that you have an official, EIN, number as well, associated with your business. So those are just a few things, you definitely want to be on the lookout for. And, I I'm doing my best to do my part, right? We got the lab here. We try to crank out quality results. Hell, I'm teaching Hemp 101 seminars, everywhere I can. I wish for every idiot that gave you a problem, I wish you could just send them the link to my Hemp 101 seminar and they just sit down with their little sippy cup for a little while, and just watch one video. And then after you watch that video, decide if you want to keep these dumbass policies in place or not. Because one of the things that I did find out about the banks is, majority of these banks, they're FDIC insured. And it basically comes down, and I know this because I actually sat down with a bank president one time back when I first started in Oklahoma. And the bank president actually said, hey, we want to get involved. We would love to give you guys an account, but here's the deal. They could come after us at an individual employee level because marijuana is federally illegal. And we don't want them to come after our individual employees because if we get audited and this is Fed stuff, they can come after us, in that regard. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, you got some questionable people in your organization and you don't want them getting found out about. And that's why you don't want to issue a freaking, a cannabis account. Right. So, whether, and this was hemp that we were talking about, not marijuana, So for me to know that is the only reason. And that was confirmed when I started dealing with people like Andrew Escamilla at Herring. He was like, yep. That's what it boils down to, the policies at the individual financial institution of what they want to do, because not enough people are comfortable with the way that, they're lazy. Let's just be real. They're lazy. They don't want to put the time in to having someone dig in, from a compliance standpoint to truly see what's what. And it's easy to just put the Heisman hand up instead of, telling some truth. So, I'm sorry you guys, had to go through that. And I'm sorry that everybody, is going through that right now. But I'm a firm believer in, every good testimony starts out with TEST. You're going to be tested, and as you're we don't quit. You'll never, nope, you'll take the breath out of my body before you get me to quit. So, I truly appreciate your grit and that will and that desire to keep driving forward, because by going through that and being forged in that fire, you've been sharpened. And now you're able to turn around, take that, translate it to others, and help people on a much, bigger scale. So,
what's crazy is that we're about to be 4 years in business in August. Nice. And while that's huge, and I think when we started this, we were like, can you imagine in 5 years, like we're going to be here? And it's like, no, we're literally just getting started now because we only got payments on our site like last month, so it's 4 years we've been just struggling and scraping to get through this issue. And it's so crazy.
But with any business, not just the CBD business, obviously, we've got our roadblocks and hurdles that we got to go through. But, with any business, anything that anybody's out there trying to do, you're going to have to grind. You're going to have to fight. There's going to be some little battles that you might lose. But, at the end of the day, you just got to keep pushing. It's going to be uphill. But once you get to that plateau, that's
hey, I look at it. I'm tougher than a 50-cent steak. Try to chew on me if you want to. You're going to break some teeth. Exactly. I mean, it is what it is. And that's the grit that people have to have right now. And if you don't have that grit, you need to get the hell out of Dodge, because it will tear you up. It's a mental game. It really is. And, you can't bring your B game. You got to bring your A game, to this party, So with that said, man, Freedom Extracts, who's Freedom Extracts? Who are those guys?
Oh, man. So, it was funny is when we were coming up the name, we knew, both of us being vets, that it was going to have to be something patriotic, something epic. We tossed around all kinds of names, but, Freedom Extracts has it's just more than just a name. It's the freedom, man. The freedom that me and her, we make all the shots, we make all the calls. We've had companies come and try to do business with us. We've had a large CBD company that wanted to buy us out and, white label our product or whatnot. I didn't like the way that they were wanting to go, but yeah, we had the freedom to basically tell them to fuck off, and that's what we did.
There you go.
Yeah,
Boom.
you know, we could have been at a different level right now, but that's not where we wanted to be with our company. You know, our thing is attention to detail. I know you remember that from boot camp.
Oh, yeah.
Attention to detail.
I used to teach it, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so we know the attention to detail. Her a little bit more than me. I'm the dirty knuckle dragon grunt. You know, she's a little bit more refined, obviously. So,
Thank God.
but it was the attention to detail, you know. But yeah, the freedom, you know, and then the freedom from the pain, the freedom from the anxiety, you know, the freedom from, you know, the nightmares, the PTS, you know, just helping our fellow brothers and sisters.
And the VA poison.
Yeah, and just getting off that VA poison. But
Yeah.
you know, yeah, the veteran community, yeah, we, you know, it's 1% of the United States. We're a small community, if you look at us in sheer numbers, but the entire nation goes through the same thing. The entire world goes through the same thing. Everybody's got some form of PTS. Somebody, you know, everybody's got some form of chronic pain, sleepless nights or whatnot. It's not just in the veteran community. It's everybody. You know, it's everybody. Everybody needs this help. And we've got a plant that it was given such a bad rap back in the 1930s for whatever reason. But it's our duty as Americans, as fighters, to change that stigma. And you know, Sam Bassey does a great job. The guys over at Normal, they're doing a great job. You know, it's just frontline fighters that are going to be out here and giving back that freedom. You know,
That's right.
that freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you know,
that's what we're promoting.
And I say people like us, you know, in the absence of leadership, you become leadership, you know.
Yep.
And when there is no front line, you get out your stick and you draw you one. You draw it in the sand, and damn it, don't you come past that line, because that's my line. I drew it, you know, and I feel like that's what we're doing, you know, right now in this space. If anyone wanted to get in contact with you, you know, say from a website standpoint or personally to ask, you know, more questions about the merchant processor deal or products in general, how do they get in contact with you guys?
freedomextracts.com. You can hit up Roka. She's actually the brains behind the operation, believe it or not.
B Game is the one who knocks on your door when you don't pay your bills.
Yeah. I'm making house calls to processors who don't let us sign up. But Roka at freedomextracts.com and B Game at freedomextracts.com.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, feel free, man. We love shooting the shit. I mean, emails, pardon my grammar, because I don't type well, just the way it is. But we'll answer any question. We answer phone calls. We don't care, man. Like I said, you know, we did this fight. We don't mind, you know, giving our ammo up to the next guy, you know, to our left and right, you know, helping them through that fight as well.
Absolutely.
I can get all the contact info for, you know, for the attorney, for my contact at the processing place. That's, you know, that's been helpful.
That was up. So who did you guys end up using for a merchant processor?
So the actual name of the company is called For Commerce something. I can't really remember. I'm sorry that I'm even saying that, but the processor itself is called Greenlight Payments.
Okay. Gotcha.
But cool. It was a different company that got us on with them because they're her name is Tina White.
Yeah, Tina.
She helped me out. The crazy part is that I had reached out to her very early on once I realized that Shopify and QuickBooks wasn't going to help before I was on the match list. And I remember that she was having trouble, you know, getting us, you know, processing. And then we just went through so many other people, but we didn't understand why we couldn't get approved. And so I had been dealing with her for a couple of years now, just back and forth. And then when I found out, they said, you might get a processor to work with you if you're on the match list. So I had called her back and I said, hey, and then she says, no, we can't do it. Mm-hmm. You know, good luck, you know, is all she can say. And it's like, okay, fine. And then we just went through so many people. And when we finally got cleared, I called her right up and she had us up and running. I mean, the application was pretty extensive, but we had the paperwork ready because we had already been through the process so many times.
Awesome. Yeah.
Pretty much gave her
Tina
everything.
was with us from the very beginning.
And she got us rolling in about, I'd say the whole entire process, start to finish, 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, you know, I had somebody hit me up after, you know, I put the first video out saying, hey man, just let you know, I'm a merchant processor too. You know, here's my company, blah, blah, blah. I'm still in the process of vetting, you know, that company to make sure they're good to go. So I do know of someone who's possibly on the horizons, but I want to make sure that they are who they say they are. before I tell people on my pages about them, because I don't want to have to turn around and kiss that donkey if they turn out not to be, real. That donkey doesn't like peppermint and the breath tastes bad and got a cold and got stuff running out his nose. So I don't want to kiss that.
But yeah,
but
we definitely put our name on Tina. Yeah, Tina.
Yeah, really
start to finish.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
What I would like to do, because I know it's getting, I know B Game turns into a diva after about 7:15. You got to give him a Snickers. Gets hungry. Wanted to open this thing up real quick for Q&A, for those that are on the line, and see if anyone has any questions that they want to ask of you personally before we disconnect. So those of you that are out here, this would be the time for someone to unmute if you have a question.
I have a question. Can I get a phone number for Tina to reach her?
Absolutely. I don't have it on me because it's on my phone and we're on the phone for the Zoom. So I can send it to JJ and he can send that info out.
Yeah, or you can email us.
I would say email, because see, here's what happens when people try to funnel everything through JJ. They end up asking more than one question.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they want to ask this and this and this. So give me your email, please.
Roca at Freedom Extracts, ROCA at freedomextracts.com.
All right, perfect. Sounds great. I will email you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Crystal. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it for now. We have been doing the whole Cash App and we do the QuickBooks for invoices, but we've never processed payments through them. Thank God. Sorry about the match list thing. The previous company I did work for, they did get on that list and they did have a hard time getting off of it and stuff. So that's why I wanted to join today, so we can get on the right track with our new company and move forward.
Awesome. Absolutely. And where are you located, Crystal?
So I am based in Oregon. I work remotely, but our company is based in California, and then we also have sister companies as well.
Awesome. So are you on are you on my California page, I assume?
No, I'm not on your California page. I'm on your Texas page.
Okay. All right. Hey, as long as you're getting the information, that's all I care about. So that's perfect.
For sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I see Crystal, Kai Paul has her hand up.
Hi there, JJ.
There you are. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm good.
I see you walking into Amazon, huh?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I see you walking into Amazon right now, huh?
Yeah.
Your background is up. You're kind of broken right now.
Crud. Hold on. Let me. How about now?
That so far so good. There we go.
Okay. I missed Roka's email because I was wanting to get the attorney's information. So if she could give it again.
Roca at Freedom Extracts. It's ROCA at freedomextracts.com.
ROCA at freedomextracts.com.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Thank you.
I see Miss Iola has her hand up.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. I may be come back crying later on. I currently am set up with the credit union, and they have approved me for the processor. I got all that lined up. They've approved it. Now I don't know. Y'all say prayers.
Now see, with a credit union, you're more likely to be good than a big, financial institution, because credit unions are a little bit smaller. Okay. They're more,
and they're in the neighborhood. So, they can come by, check me out if they want to and all that other stuff. So that's cool. So
find out who's in charge.
I already talked to the guy.
Contact information and send them my Hemp 101 video before you start to have problems.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, prayers. I'm about to do the finalization of the website and get the link up between the website and I don't know, it's so many names, processing company, AuthorNet, I don't know. But anyway, it's lined up. So once we get that going, hopefully we'll be up and running and y'all can come look at our website. We'll be ready to take your money.
Awesome.
There we go.
So Iola, I forgot. Where are you actually at?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Man, I love it when we get these people from all over that are coming in, man. It's freaking cool. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, these
So,
guys, I mean, these guys, they're the pioneers, man. They're the front lines. We're all doing it together.
Yep. So next up, we've got Aaron and Lauren Holloman out here. They've got their hand up. They have a question. How are you guys?
Hi, good. How are y'all?
Oh,
Hey, how you
finer than frog hair split twice.
Well, good. We just had two questions. One is related and one maybe a little unrelated. But the first question, we've currently been using Square as for our merchant processing. And I mean, they approved us as a CBD business. We have our official bank account. We have our tax number. We're all official in that sense. Have other people experienced problems with Square that maybe we should be concerned about?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, JJ.
I was gonna say, I think Square is starting to come. So we currently use Square ourselves, but I am a testing laboratory. Like somebody walks in here, we've got testing equipment, we've got environmental testing equipment. We don't own any weed or cannabis or hemp. We don't own any of that. But I do know at one point Square was having some issues, but I think they recently changed their tune. So yeah. Now it's not my job to keep up with all the individual processors and who they are, but
Had experienced troubles, and they do have a little higher of a percentage rate for us because we're a CBD company. But I was just worried that it might, if someone else had issues with them, and we could possibly lose those services.
Yeah, you actually could lose the services. So we were on Square for a little while, and early on, and we had, it was working. We took a few payments. I thought, okay, great, we have Square. And then just all of a sudden, literally all of a sudden, I received an email that says, we're closing your account. And then it was next to impossible to try to get somebody on the phone to figure out why they were closing the account.
Was that before or after your QuickBooks thing?
That was after.
Okay.
And then about maybe a year later, I literally get a phone call from a Square representative that says, hey, just wanted to see how it's going with your account with the CBD. And I'm like, what do you mean? I received an email that said my account was closed. And she says, no, the account's not closed. It's open, it's running, it's working. And I'm like, seriously? So Square does not integrate with Shopify. So we literally, because we were so desperate for a merchant, I was like, we're going to switch over. I literally moved from Shopify to Square, put in the work, built another website. And within a month, Square shut us down again because one is first because I posted a grinder for sale, right? Because we had some of the processors told us you should have some accessories that aren't just CBD. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to post a grinder. No, they shut us down. So we posted a grinder. And then after I said, okay, I took the grinder down, same day. Now it was, you posted CBD, hashtag CBD wellness on your social media. And I posted all kind of, and I said, okay, so now I got to go through every post for the last 4 years to see if I posted CBD wellness, like it. So it was literally something that ridiculous. And so with that, I said, I'm done. I moved back to Shopify and I just left Square. So be careful with what you post.
Okay, perfect. And I guess in relation to that question, we had built our website through another party, and they accept Square as our merchant. And so I was just wondering are you using Shopify with your current merchant?
We are.
Okay. Yeah, the website builder is just something we had struggled with in combination with merchant services. So
yeah, that was our problem too, which is why we just did, really what I ended up doing with Shopify was just, here's an email, here's how to make a payment. And then, but Shopify is actually really, really good. I like the format of Square better, honestly, but as far as everything else working, inventory, tracking everything, Shopify actually works pretty good.
okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate
Lauren,
it.
you're not going to get away that easy. No, ma'am. Where are you calling in from?
San Antonio.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's us, San Antonio. Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, at some point, we hope to see you here, or swing by Veteran Scientific Laboratories and,
Couple times. You probably recognize my husband before you recognize me, but we came in we've been in, y'all tested our massage oil and
okay.
I got another product, but yes,
Okay.
sir.
That was well, I mean, I'm not here a lot. Hey, yeah, what's going on, brother? Yes. How you doing?
All right.
Now I know exactly who you are. That makes sense.
And the babies keep going around being loud, so I keep muting it, but
It's all
Yes,
good.
sir.
No problem at all. Well, we thank you guys so much for your support. We'll keep doing our best for you, and you keep doing your best for us, and we just gonna crush it. That's just that simple. So thank you so much. So moving on, we've got Crystal, who's being kind of patient. I think Crystal had another question for us. Crystal Anderson.
Actually, I was just going to pop in and share with Lola that the last company I was with, within the last 30 days had the payment processor. She was just talking about the authorized.net. And when that company signed up with them, they knew that they were a hemp farm and they were selling hemp products. They did not actually sell any products from their website at all. And they did go through, an extensive process to get all signed up and everything, only to eventually be told in less than 3 months that they were being shut down because the agent who signed them up did not in fact state that they sold CBD products, even though they didn't sell them on their website.
Oh my God.
So they ended up shutting them down anyway. And then that company did end up going with another company. And I still don't believe that, the new one that they are going to go with is going to work out either, because none of the agents who sign people up for these kind of, programs are being honest about who they are or what they do, that kind of thing, because the owner of that company kept always saying, oh, well, we're a farm. We operate as a farm. Well, you may be a farm, but you're still selling product that is hemp derived or hemp related or cannabis related, whatever it is. So that's why you're getting banned. You know what I mean? So Lola, just be aware, like authorized.net may block you and you may lose that.
Well, what I'll do is I'll call them because I don't have time for, I'll call them.
Yeah.
And just let them know, because they
That's
have
right.
given me.
You want to say it, but I'll say it. You ain't got time for no bullshit. I'll say it.
Because let me tell you, this process has taken me months to get this shit on the road. I'm so sorry, y'all. But I'm so frustrated. I am like, I want to call my congressman and talk to the president. I'm ready to sing some blues for some people. I am truly honest about this shit, because what bugs me is Wisconsin has been taken under the USDA, which makes us federally covered.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody picked up the processing piece of it. They just said, oh no, we don't want it. They said the DAT can't have it. Oh, and if they don't have it, you need to call them. So I did. And I told them, I showed them, I sent them a letter to the USDA of where the local state said they were not covering the processing portion. Mm-hmm. So anyway, long story short, they following some FDA rules on cosmetics and you'll be okay on the processing piece. But anyway, so, but on OffNet, they have asked me a gazillion questions. The only thing they haven't asked me, I'm telling you, is for a pair of underwear. I'm just really, it's kind of, and I'm a little bit insulted because I have good credit, period. As a human being, I know I have good credit. I'm not trying, it's not a bragging, but I'm just saying, damn, really? I mean, I got license, I got everything. I have given y'all everything. And and if they shut me down, let me tell you how I'm about to go in, because I am sick of their shit. And it's insulting to me. How dare you? Yeah. What do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? USDA says I can do it. That's federal. So what's your problem? I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. Look, you've been holding that in for a while.
Long time. Okay.
You family. No, you good. You good. You know what I mean? No.
My father. I'm an old Army brat.
There you go.
My father was a soldier for his whole life. He even retired as a ROT instructor. That's how deep it was.
Nice.
So I become very insulted with this shit, because I'm looking at them saying, really. Yeah. He served in 3 fucking wars. We went through him with 3 wars. How dare you? Anyway, I'm sorry.
And here's, a lesson, as well. One of the biggest lies, when people say knowledge is power, that's bullshit. Knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is what's powerful, but you got to make sure you're connected to the right knowledge. So when you have these local trade shows that come up, go to those local shows, and if you like, I have yet to go to a hemp or a cannabis show where there haven't been merchant processors that are at these shows. Okay. So if there is a merchant processor at a weed function, I'm pretty sure they're okay with processing your payments for cannabis, whether it's hemp or marijuana, so, and I'm not an advocate for believing everyone that's at these trade shows, but if a bank or a merchant processor is at a cannabis trade show, 9 times out of 10, they know their shit. Just saying, so definitely, that's one good source. And like I said, there is someone that I'm in the process of vetting, myself right now, and I should know something, in the next couple of days on whether they're good. And if they're good, y'all are going to see them, out here. I'll set up a Zoom. I'll let them come out and talk to you guys. I'll probably post some information on them, things like that as well. But like I said, I just want to do my best to try to make sure that these people are who they say they are. So man, this was good. I love these Zooms when we can get in, say what we need to say, get to it, get straight to the point, nitty gritty. We are currently, 47 minutes, into this thing. And just wanted to ask, does anybody else have any questions, any comments, any last inputs before we, put a bow on this thing and call it a night?
Hey, if anybody's got any questions, just hit us up, freedomextracts.com. Like I said, man, we're all in this together. We've learned from mistakes, trials, tribulations, just getting educated and whatnot. Feel free to hit us up. Like
Absolutely.
I said,
you guys white label also. Y'all white label also, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we white label, and we do 25% up in Oklahoma as well.
Right on
the other side of the house.
Little walk on the wild side.
It's wild up there, but hey, that train's coming, man. You ain't gonna stop.
Oh yeah, it's coming. Yep, and you can stand in front of it if you want to. It's still a train. It's gonna hurt when you get your ass.
It's happening. So.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for being vulnerable, coming out here, checking out, what these guys had to say. Liz and Steve, man, thank you so much. And if y'all need anything, y'all know where I'm at. Please hit me up. We got you covered.
Thank you,
Honor and a
JJ.
pleasure, man. Appreciate it.
No problem at all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all take care.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.